Geoff Donaghy, welcome back to Business Events TV.
Thank you, Anthony.
Tell me, what's the update?
Well, having spent the last 12 months on deeply engrossed in design and finalising contracts and things like that, we're now starting to gear up the actual business side. We've made our first appointment, Helen Mentolato, and we're out recruiting for key sales positions at the moment. We're looking for ready to set up our pre-opening office in Sydney, and then we'll continue through and we'll have somewhere between 50 and 60 people in the pre-opening team by the end of this year.
And tell me about this construction.
Construction's well underway. People living in Sydney will have seen the hoarding. Demolition of the existing building first, of course, but that's on track and on time and all going according to project and ready to finish before the end of 2016.
Any exciting milestones coming up?
Well, we've been working closely with Business Events Sydney, with the team there who are continuing to send out bids and have won quite a number of major conferences. The next phase is that we'll talk to the major exhibition organisers, those that are running their events at the Glebe Island facility, implement our business event reservation system. So yeah, all of those things are now starting this year.
And the Exhibition Centre Glebe Island, you had your first showing this weekend.
Started on Saturday, the Reed running their gift show there, and that's all gone very well. Yes, yeah, people are happy with that. So
how many people went through?
I haven't seen the final numbers, but it'll be close to, I would imagine, somewhere between 20 and 30,000 will end up there and enjoy the ferry ride over or the bus ride over. So it was a big education for the visiting public as well, but from all accounts they've taken to it very well.
First event for Malu?
It certainly was, yeah, although we did a test event for the industry a couple of weeks ago and tried out all the systems and the procedures, and yeah, everything's going well there. So it'll be a good home, a good temporary home for the exhibition industry for 3 years, and then in 2017, of course, they'll all come back to the ICC at Darling Harbour.
And what's the next big milestone for you?
Well, really for the next month or two is just recruitment of the key team, developing the corporate identity and the branding, producing the sales and marketing tools, working through with Business Events Sydney, attendance at all the major trade shows internationally and nationally, of course, like here at AIME as well. Just getting the word out, and in about sometime over coming weeks, then we'll start to take bookings for the priority segments. So we'll start to build the business from then on, just as the building's being built.
Fantastic. And on an international level, what's Ogden doing on the international world scale?
Well, through our partners, AEG out of LA, they of course have won the management rights for the Los Angeles Convention Centre and Hawaii Convention Centre. Kuala Lumpur is going very well. Oman, construction well and truly underway, and we're recruiting for key positions there as well. Trevor McCartney, who's known throughout the industry, has started as our general manager there, so that's certainly up and running. And there's a couple of other projects in other countries that we're examining closely at the moment. Nothing ready to announce as yet, and we're pretty particular about the projects that we take on. They need to be a fit and consistent with the type of venues that we run. But our whole team, because we're all here at AIME, we're spending a full planning day here on Thursday after AIME finishes with all our general managers and directors of sales and our contacts over from Los Angeles as well. So a lot more planning, a lot more promotion, a lot more group branding will come out of that.
Sensational. And on a lighter note, what does business events mean to you?
Well, of course it means a job for me, but on a serious note, it's given me a fantastic career. From opening the Cairns Convention Centre nearly 20 years ago, it's a wonderful, wonderful industry. It produces such incredible benefits for cities and communities, and that gives you a great feeling of satisfaction. Wonderful people, not just through our team, but throughout the whole industry, and of course through ARPC and my role with that internationally. We have a very tight-knit international group and community as well. It's just a great industry that produces great benefits for cities and communities.
Fantastic. And where do you see business events in the next 5 years?
Well, for Australia, of course, the ICC will be a major milestone and allow Australia to get back up, climb back up those ICA rankings where we'd started to drop down in past years. Intensely competitive industry. So many more countries and cities are building new facilities, fantastic facilities. Mixed emotions about that, of course, because, competition for our existing venues, but great opportunities for us as a management company as well. So So I guess that's good and exciting to see, and competition's good, keeps everyone on their toes.
Absolutely. Speaking of Gary Grimmer earlier today, he was saying Africa is coming on board.
Yeah, certainly some of the countries there. South Africa's always been sort of well positioned, some great centres there in their major cities. Probably not a country that, or even a continent that we would necessarily get involved in. We don't see ourselves there in the immediate future, but longer term, who knows? But no, we see probably India being the next area of growth in major venues, and of course there's more venues being built in Asia as well.
And speaking on building on the international scale, how do you think it'll affect the business in Australia, where a lot of these venues are coming on board in our Asia Pacific area?
Oh, more competition, of course, yeah. So, Australia needs to be on its toes, both individually for each city and venue, but collectively as a destination as well. So, that's a topic of conversation and discussion amongst the industry, how Australia can protect its overall market share, and then how each city can chase that international business as well. But that's just one of the segments in these sorts of venues, but it's one we need to make sure we maintain and protect a market share of.
Exciting times ahead.
Very exciting times coming up. Certainly for us at AEG Ogden and particularly for ICC, which we believe, and as we point out to people and get immediate agreement, this is the single most exciting project in the venue world that's going to happen in the next 5 years.
Thank you, Geoff. Thank you for talking to BETV.
Thanks, Anthony.